Harness racing returns to Albion Park on Saturday night with a 10-race program, with our first race scheduled to start at 5:37. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we're going to speak with Zach Chappenden and Brendan Barnes. Both young guys have a good book of drives, so I'm keen to get their thoughts. That won't be too far away. 10 races on Saturday night. Zach Chappenden with a good book of drives, and he joins us first up. Zach, appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me on, Chris.
Colonel Joy, first up for you on Saturday night. Race 2, horse 10. No doubt a little disappointed with that barrier draw.
Yeah, no, he's going really well though, so I think if there's a bit of speed on early and he can finish up, be right in the finish.
He's on the back up from Tuesday. He was good on Tuesday. He ran into the flying King of the Stars. He had barrier 1. You elected to hand over. He can really apply pressure, King of the Stars.
Yeah, that's sort of what he's the class horse in the race, and I didn't want to sort of park him. I probably finished back further than I did, so.
Just looking at this race and the draw, it's not ideal, but he's capable. He's no one-trick pony. He's capable of running on strongly.
Yeah, that's right. That's the best thing about him. He can do a bit of work in his run, and he's really quick, so.
And looking at this front line, it looks like it's going to generate plenty of pressure. Rock and Roll Icon looked good first up, and there's a few to his inside that have early speed, so they might make him work, which may set up nicely for you.
Yeah, hopefully, and if the speed's on, I think we'll be right in the finish at the end.
All right, well, that's Colonel Joy in race 2. We move to race 3. This is the Open. Subtle Delight. You know this guy well. He's drawn gate 5. On paper, it looks a little sticky because you've got speed to your inside and to your outside.
Yeah, that's right. He's a horse that never really runs a bad race, but he just never has any luck with the barriers, and when he does get a good draw, he usually capitalises on it.
Yeah, and that's what he did 2 starts ago. He was awesome winning 2 starts ago.
Yeah, really good. I was really happy with him, and he's going good every week. His sectionals have been good, just needs that touch of luck.
Okay, last time out 7th, but it was a pass mark for you?
Yeah, I thought he went good, just no luck, as always.
Okay. Major Cam was awesome winning last time out. Turn It Up, he's trialled in preparation for his return place last time out in the Blacks of Fake. They look the horses to beat.
Yeah, definitely. They're the better horses in the race.
Okay. Race number 4, Dennington Heights. This is one of your regular drives. He's a gate speed horse, so he looks well suited here. Gate 2 over the mile.
Yeah, that's right. He's a funny horse. He sort of doesn't really have that much sprint, so if we can find the front, I think he should run a pretty good race.
Yeah. Do you think you've got enough speed to head off Vienna Boy?
I'm not really sure how quick Vienna Boy gets out, but I think we'll probably have a look early and see.
Okay, and a horse like the Fortunate Son, he's drawn out in gate 5, but he's likely to rush over and apply pressure, so how does that play out?
Yeah, there looks to be a bit of speed on early, so if we get too much pressure, we can always hand up. It doesn't really hurt him.
Yeah, it's a good quality race, and then you've got those off the second line. Will the Wizard, Black Sedans, they're well above average.
Yeah, definitely. They're really nice horses, so it's going to be tough for us, but I think he's good enough to be in the finish.
Okay, well, that's Dennington Heights in race 4. We'll skip over to race 6. You've picked up the drive here on Just Joshin. This is a claim drive. He's a horse that's going well. He scored 2 starts ago, albeit narrowly, and he wasn't all that far away last time out when 7th off a bad draw.
Yeah, I don't really know the horse very well, but he's been going pretty good and probably just needs a bit of luck, but if he gets that luck, I think he can be in the finish too.
But you are facing a big challenge because you're up against One Change here.
Yeah, that's right. He's a nice horse, One Change, so I think he's the one to beat.
So this is your first drive behind Just Joshin?
Yeah, first drive.
So you've raced against him so many times, but this is the first time you've sat behind him?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, well, that's Just Joshin in race 6. And then we go across to race number 8. Recipe for Dreaming. You know this guy well. You've scored with him previously, and he hasn't been all that far away, late. He's on the back up from Tuesday where he was 2nd. That was a good run.
Yeah, he's going really good, the horse. He's actually, all of his runs lately have been really good with no luck, and he's another one that just needs that bit of luck to be in the finish.
Do you plan on going forward from gate 5?
I'll have to have a chat to Richard on the night, but I think we'll probably be better off going back. There does look a bit of speed inside of us.
Okay. Is he better suited at the mile, which is Saturday night's distance, or do you like him over a little bit further?
I mean, if he was going to lead, probably the mile, but coming with a sit, the 21, as always, is a better distance to come with a sit from.
He's a lot like Colonel Joy. He's no one-trick pony. He's quite versatile.
Yeah, he's probably not as tough as Colonel Joy, but he can do a bit of work in his runs.
Okay, well, that's Recipe for Dreaming. That's your final drive there on Saturday night. Which one are you looking forward to most at this stage, Zach?
Probably Colonel Joy. He's racing really well at the moment, and I really like that horse, so I'll take him.
Okay, race 2, number 10, Colonel Joy. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
Brendan Barnes is now joining us to go through his book of drives on Saturday night, and he's in the hot seat. Brendan, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris. Thank you.
You've picked up the drive on Bohannon in race number 1. It's a good pickup drive. The only downfall is the draw, the outside of the second row. That's going to make life a little bit more difficult for a horse that's going absolutely super.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think Chloe was real happy with it. She had to drive He's a Bramac with the claim. So, yeah, I'll jump on and keep the seat warm for the week. But, yeah, step up in grade and not the nicest draw. But, as you said, he's going really well. So, yeah, he can make his own luck in his races, that's for sure.
The win didn't shock anyone last week at Redcliffe. He was over on the inside, but once he got space to work with, he really hit the line strongly.
Yeah, he did. He's been working towards that for probably 6 weeks or so now. He's been sort of going well and just sort of running into a better one with a better run sort of each week. But, yeah, so he's overdue for that one for sure.
I suppose one thing that's a plus for him, you've got the bad draw, but it is 2,138 metres. I suppose it gives you a chance to work into it.
Yeah, that's right. As you said, 2100, we can sort of just play it by ear and see how the tempo is, sort of when and where, and see how we go.
Yeah, and the other good thing about him, he is versatile. He's no one-trick pony.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen him do plenty of work there where he sat outside the Fortunate Son in 152 and wasn't beaten far, and he's sort of run placing, sort of taken off 3-wide solo from the bell and sort of been finding the line. So, yeah, sort of whatever we have to do with him, I think he'll run a good race.
Okay, it is a good race, the first to start the program. Several of these runners have really good form. Another good race is race 3. This is the Open. Rock with Sam. He was back in the winner's circle last Saturday night at Redcliffe. Tell me this, was he underrated by rivals last week?
I think so. Like he was first up for a little bit of a freshen up. He was actually meant to be sold to America, but that all sort of fell through. But yeah, I think so. He's a horse that when he does lead, he's always pretty hard to beat. And I think probably the last time he did lead, he won in good time. So yeah, once we're able to sort of lead and get away with that, yeah, it was always going to be the horse to beat.
Yeah, and he was convincing at the line as well.
Yeah, he was. He was sort of probably a little bit underdone heading into last week as well. Would have liked to have another week or so under his belt, but sort of he is a long distance sort of a horse. So once the opportunity was there to lead over the 2200 around Redcliffe, we didn't knock that back.
Okay, well, this is a different kettle of fish on the weekend. You've got a second row draw and you're back to a mile. And that front line looks loaded. Major Cam was super impressive last time out. Turn it up. He's a class performer. This is going to be a good challenge.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big step up in grade, but, you know, he rarely runs a bad race, so we'll just have to sort of tuck him away there somewhere, and he'll hit the line. If he can get a slice of luck, he might run into the money, but, yeah, he rarely runs a bad race.
Okay, and he's obviously going to be fitter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. All right, well, that's Rock with Sam in race number 3. We go over to race 7. You're driving Call Me Trish here. This race looks hard to sort of map and sort a few of these runners out. She's a last starter runner-up, but barrier 5, is that a little sticky for her?
Oh, she can do a little bit of work when she's right, and it's quite an even sort of a field. There's no sort of standout horse to beat in that. It's sort of, yeah, pretty even. So if she can sort of get a good trip and yeah, I think she's sort of definitely up to earning a bit of money anyway.
Okay, well, it's one of 2 nutters in the race for trainer Michael Nutley, so you're happy that she's got the front row draw in comparison to the casual goose who's facing a second line draw?
Yeah, well, she doesn't have a lot of gate speed anyway, so normally sort of wherever she is, if she's on the back line, she normally loses a couple spots sort of trying to follow them through, but she's just one of those, she sort of likes to balance up and then just sort of see what's sort of ahead and see how you go from there.
Do you like her at the mile, or would you prefer a little bit longer?
I don't think it really matters too much with her. She doesn't have a lot of speed, so she can sort of just sort of keep bowling the same sort of quarters. I think she's pretty well one at the mile, one at the distance. I think, yeah, it's just sort of a matter of getting the right trip with her.
Okay. The trot. This is a good quality trot, but there is no trotter going better right now than Nita Bacardi in Brisbane. Absolutely flying. He was so good again last week at Redcliffe. Doesn't matter if it's Redcliffe or Albion Park, he just keeps turning up and doing the job.
Yeah, he was super again last week. He's just stepping probably a little bit too slow, and then just probably having to chase too hard sort of early stages where that sort of added a bit more merit to his win. He sort of was probably 30 or 40 off him after a few hundred metres and tacked on and was still too strong. But I'm sort of, it's obviously he's off 30 this week, but I'm sort of thinking maybe the more handicap he gets, he might step a little bit better, sort of being back on his own, and it could sort of work out sort of being the same handicap for him anyway.
Okay, well, that's interesting to point out, and that means it's going to be a good test on the weekend, because last week at Redcliffe, 2,600 metres. You're back to 2,138 metres and you've got that handicap of 30 metres, so he's got to be quicker away?
Yeah, for sure. And I think if he can sort of be a bit quicker away and not be sort of spotting him too far, he's going super. We can drive him forward, we can drive him with one run. He's pretty versatile and he's going super.
And it doesn't matter what distance, really, does it?
No, he's proven sort of, yeah, mile, 1,200, 2,600, he can do it all.
Okay, with that race being the shorter trip on Saturday night, does Skyline sort of loom as the main threat there?
You'd think so. It was brave here on Saturday night. It stepped really well and run a good race. So, yeah, he's probably the one to beat for sure.
Okay, it's a nice little book of drives there. Is he the best? Nita Bacardi?
I think so. You sort of can't knock his form. He's sort of turned up week in, week out and hasn't really missed a check since he's been up here. So I think he'll definitely be sort of getting in the money anyway.
Yeah, he's thriving, no doubt about it. Brendan, as always, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris. Ta.
A big thanks to both Zach and Brendan for their time and insights in this week's edition of Weekend Winners, and we wish them the best of luck on Saturday night. Looking for a good gamble? Go nice and hard, nice and early. Race 3, horse 7, Turn It Up. There's no doubt he's the class runner of this field. He's fresh up following his placing in the recent Blacks of Fate during the Summer Carnival. He was third behind King of Swing and Colt 31. He's been fitted for this assignment with a recent trial, and it was a wow of a trial. I love the way he ran through the line. Yes, he's got a wide draw to overcome, but they're looking at a Southern campaign. Newcastle Mile, Miracle Mile. I think he'll blow their doors off on Saturday night. Race 3. Number 7, Turn It Up, the best bet. Make sure you check out the action on the weekend. Our first race getting underway at 5:37. Also, don't forget Sunday week, the Australian Pacing Gold yearling sale. That is fast approaching. Catalogues are available. You can find out all the latest information by going to their website, apgold.com.au.